Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryechu Sarvada. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Aspadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Bhadarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishwaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Yomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Shri Medha Dakshina Murti Swamine Namaha. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Vyasam Vasishtanaptaram Shakte Pautramakalmasham Parasharatmajam Vande Sukatadam Taponidhim. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma Nidhaye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha. Namaste once again, everyone.
Namaste, Guru.
So, as I had announced in the last class, first of all, let me send my greetings to all of you on the occasion of the Guru Purnima, which we celebrated on the 13th of this month. My best wishes to all of you for the continuation of Vedanta study. And as I had announced, I thought I will give a brief talk of 10-15 minutes. But when I thought of putting down my thoughts, I felt that there is a lot, on the subject which on the significance or relevance of Guru Purnima. So probably this class will go for a whole 1 hour. But if we are able to finish it early, then we will continue with Bhagavad Gita, the next class of Gita, whatever time is left. Okay. So as I said, we observed the Guru Purnima on the 13th of July. And Guru Purnima, as you all might know, is also known as Vyasa Purnima. The day we remember the great Maharishi Vyasacharya and we pay our respects to him. His original name was Krishna Dvaipaya. Krishna, because he was dark in complexion. Anybody dark in complexion is called Krishna. And Dvaipayana, because he was born in a Dvipa, an island. And he got the title of Veda Vyasa since he codified the Veda into 4 parts. And his vision was that he wanted to preserve the Veda for the posterity, especially the oncoming Kali Yuga. And he also wrote the epic Mahabharata, which is about, it said, 100,000 slokas. And he is also said to be the author of 18 Puranas and many other scriptural texts rather. Of course, when we talk of, in a Vedantic terms, when we talk of Veda Vyasa's contribution, the highest contribution of Veda Vyasa from a Vedanta point of view is his treatise on Brahma Sutra, which brings out the entire essence of the entire Veda, but not just Upanishads. And Adi Shankara has written a profound bhashyam on Brahma Sutra. And therefore, Adi Shankara came to be known as Bhashyakara. Thus, one can go on talking about the glories and achievements of Veda Vyasa, which from today's standpoint seems humanly impossible. And that is why he is considered as a Amsha avatar of Mahavishnu. And as I just now recited the sloka, he is glorified as Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma Nidaye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha. And we celebrate the Guru Purnima in memory of such a great saint of Sanatana Dharma. So in our culture, we have observed that festivals like Ramanavami, Krishna Janmashtami, or for that matter, even Diwali, Pongal, so many, they are all celebrated universally in one form or the other. However, we don't see such universal celebration for Guru Purnima. We might be wondering, only very restricted celebration is there for Guru Purnima. And the reason for that is Guru Purnima is a significant and important day, especially or rather only for the sannyasis. Therefore, Guru Purnima celebration is well-known function among the sannyasis. And of course, because of the association, it is also important among those people who are associated with sannyasis. For other people, this day is not that well known. Even though in some parts of India, like Acharya Purnima and all, they celebrate, in some form or the other. But Guru Purnima, from its, the most important point of view, is celebrated only by sannyasis. And when it comes to Guru Purnima, or for that matter, any other function or in our tradition, any other celebration, the significance of that or importance of that can be known only when we know our tradition, our scriptures very well. And they are all embedded in the prescribed Vedic lifestyle. Once upon a time, long ago, we were closely following the lifestyle prescribed by the Vedas. And that's why, our lifestyle is called Vaidika Dharma or Sanatana Dharma. And this lifestyle was governed by Varnasrama Dharma, consisting of Varna Dharma and Ashrama Dharma. All these things we know, but I'm just bringing it in the context of Guru Purnima. Of this Varnasrama Dharma, the Varna Dharma, which classified the society into 4 groups, like Brahmana Varna, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, based on their occupation, mind you, not based upon their birth, based on their occupation. It was primarily meant for preserving the social harmony. It was primarily keeping the society in view and the individual's role or duty in the society. So in the Varna Vyavastha, or this scheme of Varna, this 4-fold division of the society based on the occupation, the individual plays only a secondary role, but the society is given prominence in the Varna Dharma. Whereas, when it comes to the Ashrama Dharma, which is our way of life with regard to various stages of individual growth, in that the individual growth is given prominence and the society assumes a secondary position. Therefore, if Varna Dharma and Ashrama Dharma are both followed, then social growth as well as the individual growth will be taken care of. This is the scheme prescribed by the Vedas. And also, of course, we find mention of all this scheme in the secondary scriptures like Smriti, Itihasa, Puranas, etc. Therefore, we can understand the significance of many of the things that we do only if we keep the Varnasrama Dharma scheme in mind. But unfortunately, this Varnasrama scheme has almost collapsed, because of which we are not able to see the significance of many of our functions, rituals, and pujas. And that is why many of them appear to be insignificant or irrelevant sometimes. And in fact, to the extent that some of them even appear to be a mockery rather. We can cite a lot of examples. For example, during the Upanayana ceremony, they have a ritual where the maternal uncle of the boy has to lift and carry the boy on his shoulders. There is a lot of fun involved in this, I mean, the boy being lifted on the shoulders and then everybody, enjoying the ritual. But this ritual was enjoyable in those days because the Upanayanam of boys was done in the 7th year or the 9th year of the boy. But nowadays, in many cases, when the Upanayanam is done, the boy is already grown up, or it is just done just before the wedding, because the priest says that you must have Upanayanam for wedding. So they just do something, and sometimes the morning of the wedding itself, first Upanayanam and then wedding. Now, you can imagine the fate of the poor maternal uncle who has to carry the boy on his shoulders. In fact, the boy probably will be weighing something like 70 or 80 kilos. One uncle may not be able to carry the boy, so they will bring a group of uncles to carry that boy. So the relevance of that was there at one point in time when all this ritual was performed, when a young age. But today, blindly, mechanically, we continue to follow all these rituals, which has no meaning at all. Similarly, we have this, Kanyaka Dhanam. Kanya Dhanam during the marriage of a daughter. The daughter has to sit on the lap of the father. Just imagine if a girl, a grown-up woman, 30, 35 years old, sits on the father's lap. The father must be already 70 years old or something. What kind of a physical trauma the father will undergo? So therefore, we find many of the things that we do appear to be insignificant and irrelevant. Gradually, it has become more mechanical, and probably after 1 or 2 generations, they may even totally fade away there. And if they fade away and a different lifestyle is taken or some different ritual replaces them, can we say that it is right or wrong? Because we find that today nothing is normal, nothing is abnormal. Because we cannot decide what is normal and what is abnormal. Whenever we use the word normal, it means that something which is keeping with a norm. And that which violates the norm is abnormal. Now, what is the norm to decide any action to be right or wrong? Earlier, we had the Varnasrama scheme. That was the norm in those days. And keeping the Varnasrama Dharma, we can say certain actions are right, certain actions are wrong, certain actions are normal, and certain actions are abnormal. So we had a reference point to see what is normal, what is abnormal, or right or wrong. But now, when the Varnasrama scheme itself has either collapsed or collapsing rather, we do not have any norm to decide if something is right or wrong. In fact, Swami Paramathanandaji gives a nice example. If somebody is singing, how do we know that the singing is in accordance with the Shruti, or whether it is Apashruti. You can judge if some singing is in keeping with the Shruti or Apashruti only when you have got a Shruti, which is normally, these days we get electric Shruti boxes or a Tanpura. So all singers first will set the Shruti for their singing. And that Shruti, either from a Tanpura or a Shruti box, that becomes the norm. Based on that Shruti, we can say whether the song that is being sung is in Shruti or it is Apashruti. Another example, these days it is increasingly happening. Intercaste marriages or inter-community marriages or inter-religious marriage. And many parents are disturbed about their children, choosing to marry in this manner. Now, the parents want to convince the children regarding its normality or rightness or otherwise. But the problem is that if they have to convince the youngsters that this is an abnormal thing, then they have to first talk about what is normal. So if we have to talk about abnormal and normal, we have to talk about a norm. What is the norm? Nobody knows. Earlier it was Varnasrama Dharma. Now what is the norm? There is no norm. Therefore, we find that when parents try to talk with their children, they are unable to convince at all because they don't know what the norm is. When the parents themselves are singing in Apashruti, on what basis will they be able to correct the Shruti of their children? And even if the parents argue or put forward a position and try to bring in Varnasrama Dharma norm, intelligent children will ask the parents, what about your own life and activities now? Is it all in keeping with Varnasrama Dharma? Because today, hardly anyone's profession is according to Varna Dharma. And even their daily activities are not in keeping with the for married people, Grihastha Dharma or Brahmacharya Ashrama. Nothing is there. So therefore, when they are not keeping the norms, we find that the parents are unable to talk about normality or abnormality. We can discover the significance of maintaining caste-based division of labor for communal harmony. The practice of ashrama-based dharmas or duties for individual growth only in the Varnashrama Vyavastha. This is true with regard to anything, and this is true with regard to Gurupurnima also. Because here also, we often find that it has become some kind of a ritual only. If we analyze the 4 ashramas, we will find that actually the 4 ashramas can be reduced to 2 ashramas. What are they? Grihastha ashrama and Sannyasa ashrama. Brahmacharya ashrama is only a preparatory for Grihastha ashrama, and therefore we can club Brahmacharya ashrama with Grihastha ashrama. Similarly, Vanaprastha ashrama is only a preparatory step for Sannyasa ashrama, and therefore Vanaprastha ashrama can also be clubbed with Sannyasa ashrama. Therefore, primarily there are only 2 important ashramas. One is Grihastha, another is Sannyasa. One is Pravritti Dharma, another is Nivritti Dharma. These are the main two ashramas. So what happens is the Purva Bhaga of the Veda, otherwise known as Dharma Shastra, becomes the norm for the Grihasthas. And for sannyasis, the primary norm is the Uttara Bhaga, or the final portion of the Vedantic text, Vedas. And the scriptures prescribe the lifestyle and duties for both Grihasthas as well as sannyasis. And we find that the sannyasis also have got their own acharas, their own anushtana, and their own duties. There is a misconception that sannyasa ashrama is giving up all acharya, anushtana, all rituals. It's a total misconception. Sannyasa ashrama does not involve totally giving up achara, anushtana. Of course, the achara, anushtana prescribed for the grihasthas is given up, but it is replaced by another set of achara and anushtana. Achara and anushtana. So, sannyasa ashrama is changing the achara anushtana from one particular method to another particular method. And to symbolize this, in the tradition, they used to have what is a stick, it's called a danda. Danda for a sannyasi. For a grihastha, they had yajnopavitam and a tuft, etc., which symbolized the grihastha dharma or way of life. It is a symbolic representation of the norms that a grihastha has to follow. But in the case of a sannyasi, he gives up yajnopavitam. He also gives up the shikha or the tuft. Therefore, in his case, his duties have to be symbolized by something else. Therefore, according to the ashrama dharma, a sannyasi is given a danda. Initially, when a person is initiated into sannyasa ashrama, he is given a tridanda: kaya danda, vag danda, mano danda. And these three symbolize physical discipline in eating, speaking, in all activities, discipline in rest, in sleep, in waking, and also the thought process, manodanda, thought process. So a sannyasi is given that symbolizing all this, so he has to follow all these things under the guidance of a guru. So this was the structure in the Varnasrama and the Ashrama scheme. Now, a tridanda sannyasi, once he has successfully gained all these qualifications, then two dandas are dropped and he becomes a ekadanda. And that ekadanda now indicates or symbolizes one primary discipline only, which is jnana dandam, the pursuit of shravana, manana, and nididhyasana. And of course, along with that, they kept certain rituals or other disciplines like Omkara Japa, Upanishad Parayanam, Bhashya Parayanam, Shankara Bhashya Parayanam, etc. So Gayatri Japa was replaced by Omkara Japa, Stotra Parayanam was replaced by Upanishad Parayanam, etc. And the household duties of a Grihastha, they were replaced by disciplines like Guru Shushrusha, Ashrama Seva, etc. The only difference that all these Anushtana, Achara which were prescribed were in keeping with Vedanta, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Because once one becomes a Ekadanda sannyasi, that is the most important thing for him. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. And as a Tridanda sannyasi, it was all preparatory for this stage. Therefore, we find that the disciplines of japa, parayanam, etc. were retained in a different form. Because even after taking sannyasa, one need not necessarily have all the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. Viveka, vairagyam and all, all those things one need not necessarily have. If a sannyasi is lacking the purity of the mind and outwardly has got a sannyasi dress, it can be very, very dangerous to the society. He can become a hypocritical sannyasi. In fact, Bhagavan Krishna talks about such a person in the 3rd chapter. Karmendriyani samyamya ya aste manasa smaran indriyartan vimudhatma mityacharasya uchyate. So, one who is able to practice to a large extent Dhamma, controlling the organs of action, but he sits with the mind remembering those sense objects. In his mind, there is no vairagyam in his mind. Outwardly, he is showing vairagyam. He says he is a vimudhatma, a deluded person. Mityachara, a person of false conduct. Therefore, even a sannyasi needs to keep on working on his sadhana chatushtaya sampatti till he reaches shama, dhamma, uparama, etc. in significant measure. And these are the acharas, anushtanas are given to the sannyasi in order to keep on purifying the mind. Omkara japa, parayanam, all these things are advised. And among the many types of duties, one of the duties given to the sannyasi is Vyasa Purnima or Guru Purnima Puja Anushthan. This is a primary duty given to a sannyasi, not to a grihastha, mind you. So a Tridandi sannyasi has to do physical puja, but it is said that once a person becomes Ekadanda sannyasa, where he has to focus only on Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam, it is said that he need not and actually should not do physical puja on Guru Purnima day. He has to do only Manasa Vyasa Puja because he is supposed to be advanced by this time. He is supposed to have actually gained a lot of sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. So he is able to control his mind, manage his mind, direct his mind. So he should do Manasa Puja. Therefore, either way, on this day a puja is to be done and dedicated to Vyasacharya. And there is another significance of this puja for sannyasis. That is, along with this puja, Chaturmasya Vratam also begins. What is the Chaturmasya Vratam? That is, the sannyasis are not supposed to go around. They are supposed to remain in only one place for a period of Chaturmasya, 4 months. But the Chaturmasya here, Masya is not our calendar months. It is taken as 4 Paksha. So 2 Shukla Paksham and 2 Krishna Paksham. So that is why 2 months, it is now reduced to 2 months. And that Vratam begins on the Guru Purnima day. They're not supposed to go around anywhere. They're supposed to remain in only one place. And that is why Guru Purnima is significant only for sannyasis. A grihastha performing Guru Purnima puja without observing Chaturmasya Vratam is meaningless. So therefore, the significance of this puja and the Vratam will be clear only when the Varnasrama Dharma norm is kept. And the reason for this is, once a person has become a Ekadanda sannyasi, he is not supposed to stay in one place. In fact, he has to become what they call parivrajaka. Keep on moving from one place to another. It is said that more than 3 nights, he should not stay in one place. He should become a parivrajaka, a wanderer. Sustaining his life by bhiksha and all that, going from place to place, village to village. Whatever he gets, he has to eat that. If he doesn't get anything, drink water and sleep. These are all norms prescribed for a sannyasi. So becoming a sannyasi as per the ashrama dharma is not a very easy thing, rather. Now you see what is happening in the present day. Do we ever find any parivrajaka sannyasis, rather? If they go on wandering, they will die of hunger. Nobody will give them any food. Probably, I mean, I'm just saying, there may still be few people who will give them bhiksha. But now most of the sannyasis are attached to some ashrama or some institution. Therefore, what? Parivrajaka dharma is also compromised. So, like any other ashrama dharma, even sannyasa ashrama dharma, there are a lot of compromises and changes. There is no question of moving about. And earlier, when they were moving about regularly, they had to stop their moving now during this beginning with the Guru Purnima, because rainy season starts around that time. It's a rainy season all over the country. Somewhere, first week or second week of July, monsoon hits. And then when rainy season comes, small insects will be there on the roads or on the paths. Many small plants might have just, come up. And a sannyasi who has taken a vow of ahimsa, he may accidentally step over them and destroy them or hurt them. And that is why for a sannyasi, it is said that he should not move for these 2 months. And not only that, a sannyasi, when he has to start the Chaturmasya Vratam, he does not know where he will be, because he is continuously moving. So, that during the Guru Purnima day, wherever he is, whichever village he is, he has to stop there and remain in that village for 2 months without moving from his abode, wherever he is staying. And he has to celebrate the Guru Purnima function, doing the puja and all that. If it is a Tridanda sannyasi, he will do puja, physical puja, otherwise Manasa puja. And the local people of the village people will be involved in that. And what does that mean? The venue of Guru Purnima can never be pre-planned, because a moving sannyasi does not know where he is going to stop during the rainy season. Let us contrast it with what is happening today. First of all, the sannyasis don't move. Therefore, there is not much relevance for that. Again, the venue is also fixed well in advance and everybody is invited. Therefore, we come back to the original question, what is normal and what is abnormal in all these things? And we find that we cannot talk about normality or abnormality. But what we do is, according to the modern society, we shift the significance and continue that. At least we have the satisfaction that even though the original significance is gone, because the sannyasis are staying in one place permanently, and again it is pre-planned, etc. And Ekadanda sannyasis are also doing physical puja. All these from the ashrama standpoint are abnormal. The other aspect is, all sannyasis are supposed to carry a Ekadanda. Only those sannyasis who have actually attained or fully assimilated Jiva Ishvara Aikyam, Aham Brahmasmi knowledge fully assimilated can drop the Ekadanda. All the sannyasis are supposed to carry a danda with them. How many sannyasis we find carrying even one danda today? Forget tridanda sannyasi. So now there is a different kind of sannyasa ashrama which has actually come up. And all these from a Varnasrama standpoint are all abnormal. So there is actually, the scriptures talk about another type of sannyasi, which as I just mentioned, they are called Paramahamsa sannyasis. Paramahamsa sannyasis means sannyasis who have realized their true nature of the self. And even in that also, there are two categorizations. Amukya Paramahamsa, he is called a Vividisha sannyasi, and Mukya Paramahamsa, who is called a Vidvat sannyasi. Amukya Paramahamsa, since he has crossed the Tridanda stage and taken to one single danda, he has to carry a Ekadanda and follows everything because he is doing Shravanam Mananam, and Nididhyasanam will come later. Once he has completed, as I said, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, he can become a Mukya Paramahamsa. Means he has become a Jnani. When he becomes a Mukya Paramahamsa, it is said that he need not have a danda. But again, here, according to the scriptures, a Mukya Paramahamsa, when he gives up his danda, is supposed to give up his vastra and become a Avadhuta sannyasi. But even so-called Paramahamsa sannyasis, they don't do that. They don't become Avadhutas. So whether we take the Grihastha-ashrama or when you take the Sannyasa Dharma, there is no norm which is prevalent now. The norm being what is prescribed in the Varnasrama scheme. Therefore, different things are happening. But from our point of view, what we can do is that we can attribute all these changes to or a particular significance we can attribute according to modern times. And the significance of all that is that since we are all Vedantic students, we just allot one day, and that happens to be a Gurupurnima day, to thank Vyasacharya. Vyasacharya has done so much for us. Therefore, we have to thank him at least one day in a year, since either we are studying Vedanta and we are also associated in some way or the other with the sannyasis. So, Vyasacharya is one of the greatest contributions, if you look at it, especially for the students of Vedanta, is in Brahma Sutra, he clearly prescribes and beautifully presents the Vedantic methodology, how one should go about learning the Vedas. So that way, Vyasacharya becomes the guru of all of us. Therefore, we allot one day to remember Vyasacharya and express our gratitude to him as our guru. And our own sannyasi gurus remember Vyasacharya because they are able to use the methodology outlined in the Brahma Sutra to teach. And in turn, we are all indirectly indebted to Vyasacharya through our sannyasi gurus rather. They have learned that, so we get the benefit of that, their learning. Therefore, this day is significant for all of us for only one purpose, that is to acknowledge our indebtedness to Vyasacharya. And we worship Vyasacharya, and also associated with that, we worship other acharyas also, like Adi Shankara. And in fact, we take it back from Vyasacharya, we actually start from Dakshinamurti. Who is that? Lord Dakshinamurti. That's why we chant the prayer, Sadashiva Samarambham. So Dakshinamurti is also included. Therefore, the only significance that we need to remember without going into all these details is this is a day of expressing our gratitude to Vyasacharya, the guru who presented Vedantic methodology in a systematic form. And these occasions are also important for us from another point of view, that because of our gurus who also give talks on this Guru Purnima and all, we get an opportunity to get an insight, a brief insight into the system of that is Vedic lifestyle, which was prevalent at one point in time, and appreciate the beauty of that system, where we find that everything, all duties were very clearly demarcated. So that is why these occasions, normally if we are studying Bhagavad Gita or we are studying some Upanishad and all, we will not get an opportunity to learn so much about what a sannyasa ashrama is and what is the importance of that ashrama, or for that matter, what is the importance of Guru Purnima itself. Now, these occasions give us an opportunity to peep into the Varnasrama Dharma. To that extent, also we benefit from such occasions or such celebrations. I'll stop. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all, everybody.
Namaskaram,
patiently.
and thank you so much, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you, Mama.
Now we have a choice whether we go to Bhagavad Gita or we have a small satsang of left 15 minutes are left. If there are any question answers, we can take them. Bhagavad Gita, we can continue in the next class. Otherwise, if you are all okay, we can continue with Bhagavad Gita. What is your choice?
This one.
Yes, Hariji. We will continue with Guru Purnima? Okay. Anybody else? Any other views?
Oh.
We go by Hariji.
Okay. Okay. So tell me, what you like to know more? I don't know too much. I'm not a sannyasi, but whatever I have learned, I can always share with you. So what is it that about Guru Purnima you want to discuss more?
Hari Om.
Hari
And
Om.
happy. I'm extremely grateful to you for teaching us this Sanatana Dharma so selflessly. So I take this opportunity to thank you again and again and again and again and again. Thank you.
Vande Guru Parampara. That is what I will say. Thank you very much.
Guruji,
Now,
this Guru Purnima, when we separate the word Guru and Purnima, can you explain the meaning of Purnima?
See, in our tradition,
Yeah.
we have got certain tithis.
Certain?
Tithi, no?
Tithi. Okay.
For various celebrations, rather. Because we celebrate every day.
Yeah.
We don't have this kind of, once in a year celebration business and all. Purnima is a full moon day. It is supposed to be a day which is complete in the sense that it indicates prosperity, rather, right? The full moon, rather. Fullness, it indicates fullness. So many functions or many of our festivals they take place on Purnima. Similarly, Amavasya also is significant for Pitris, except for Deepavali. Deepavali falls on Amavasya day always, either one day before or on the Amavasya day itself. That is why we say that Deepavali day you have to get up early in the morning and take bath, oil bath, right?
Yeah.
Now, is it necessary that every time we have to do that? We have to understand the reason why we are asked to do that. The answer is that on the Amavasya, if the Amavasya is already set in, we are not supposed to take an oil bath. But if the Deepavali is not falling on an Amavasya day, you need not get up early and take an oil bath. You can take an oil bath at any time that you want. But since we don't understand this, mechanically we will all wake up our children at 3 o'clock in the morning and then ask them to go for an oil bath and all. Again, as I said, this is because we have no understanding of the significance of that oil bath on the Diwali day. Oil bath is important for Diwali. And if the Diwali and Amavasya fall on the same day, then this rule is applicable. If not, you need not follow this rule. On the Diwali day, anytime you can take oil bath. You can get up late and take oil bath. But it has become a norm that on the Diwali, whatever day it is, you have to get up early in the morning and take an oil bath. I'm just giving you an example how we don't understand these practices, for what they are meant for. So as I was saying, there are, like we have got, Ratha Saptami, then we have got, I think, Naga Panchami. Every tithi, something or the other, some festival is kept. So that the whole idea of our Vedic lifestyle is, we must keep on prayerful attitude throughout all the days. We must keep praying to something or the other, because everything is Ishvara only, rather. We have also got the one day for the plants and trees. We worship the plants and trees. Then, as I said, Naga Panchami, we worship the serpents. So different, even Ratha Saptami, we worship the Ratha. So many like that are kept. So from a certain festivals are kept on Guru Purnima day, as a Purnima days. So there in that Guru Purnima is one of them. I do not know exactly the relevance whether it was a day, because there are 2-3 versions of this Guru Purnima. Whether it was the day Vyasacharya was born, I don't know. Or it was a day when Vyasacharya completed the Brahma Sutra, also I don't know. Right? That is something that, because there are different versions, different people give different reasons why Guru Purnima is on this month, Ashada month, or what we call, the Ani Mas. In Tamil, it is Ani Purnima. Yeah. Ani Purnima. Adi is yet to come next. Tomorrow is Adi starting. So, like that, yeah. So, like that, the Purnima is a significant day where many festivals are kept.
Like
Guru
Buddha Purnima is also Buddha
Purnima is also one
Then
of the
Guru Nanak
important
Jayanti is also on a Purnima.
Yeah, all those, for that matter, Guru Nanak Jayanti and our Kartikeya festival in South India will follow more or less. It is Purnima.
Same day, same.
Same
Yes.
day. So all those things are all significant. They are all part and parcel of how the Varnasrama scheme is there. We have to go deep into all that. But this much is there. All festivals will fall either on Purnima day or one of those, some day or the other they will fall. And they are celebrated for that particular festival. Mostly they will fall, or even Amavasya also some festivals fall there. Amavasya Purnima are very significant from our Sanatana Dharma point of view. I can't immediately recall what are all the other festivals other than Diwali which falls on Amavasya. But you can find out. I mean, it's not a very difficult thing. So
Starting of Navaratri.
Starting of Navaratri, correct. That is also
Malaya
Amavasya.
Amavasya.
Malaya Amavasya, yeah.
Correct.
And Malaya Amavasya day, next day you start Navaratri. So like that, there are a lot of things. So Guru means Guru. I mean, Vyasacharya is considered a Guru in the entire lineage, because between Sadashiva, Dakshinamurti, we don't have any great gurus whose names we remember. And Vyasacharya is a great guru because of Vyasacharya only today we are able to actually study the Vedas. We are, at least in some form, some little bit of Vedas are preserved. We have the Brahma Sutra doctrine with us, rather the entire this thing, and that is for Vedantic students, the Bible, rather, Brahma Sutra. And we have the great advantage of that Brahma Sutra study because of Adi Shankara's profound bhashyam on Brahma Sutra. I mean, it is such a great treatise, I mean, what all we study throughout Vedanta, all Upanishads, even the Vedic practices, the Karma Kanda, everything is threadbare discussed in the Brahma Sutra bhashyam. And Adi Shankara brings out very clearly, what is this Veda, what is Vedanta, how one should approach the study of all these things. So that's a very profound bhashyam, rather. And that Brahma Sutra was given by Vedavyasa. So that is why we consider him from a Kali Yuga point of view as our Guru. Because we don't have any Guru who has done such a yeoman work before Vedavyasa. So that is why you can understand the connection between Guru and Purnima. Otherwise, I cannot think of any other specific significance. Most festivals fall on a Purnima, so this is also one more which is falling on a Purnima. The only significance I can think of is the Chaturmasya Vratam, which is prescribed. That probably at one point in time, that the whole nature was also so perfect that on the Purnima day, the monsoon will start and last for 2 months. So probably it would have been, I mean, it's a wild guess I am taking. So that from the Guru Purnima day, after the puja, the sannyasis are barred from moving around. And that is because the rainy season starts immediately. But now, these days, everything has gone haywire. So this also, even the weather is also not necessarily monsoon should start on the Purnima day. The day it will start, sometime before the Purnima also. So this is what I can.
Even
And it'll continue
Sorry?
beyond 2 months.
Yeah, continue beyond 2 months. What were you saying?
in Gurupurnima is significant. They pray to Sai Baba. Sai Baba is Shirdi and everywhere. Gurupurnima is celebrated.
All
Yes.
people who have got different gurus celebrate on the Guru Purnima. They express their gratitude to their gurus.
Very good.
So, from a Vedanta point of view, when we are all Vedantic students, for us, Vyasacharya is the significant. And because all the other gurus are all come now, when we talk about Varnasrama Dharma, when we talk about Sanatana Dharma, in Sanatana Dharma, this Guru Purnima is prescribed only for Vyasacharya, not for any other gurus who have appeared now and all that. But they have usurped Guru Purnima for that purpose, which is okay. I mean, at the end of the day, whomsoever we are taking as a guru, this is a means to express our gratitude and thank the guru for the guidance and that's all. It's more of an attitude of a reverential attitude and an attitude of gratitude, which is more important rather than who is. If XYZ is your guru, you celebrate that guru. Nothing harm, no harm in that. So that is how it is.
One more thing.
In fact, I was once when I was in Kuwait, I was asked to give a talk on Guru Purnima, and I talked about Vyasacharya, and that happened to be some RSS group. They had no clue about Vyasacharya and all the people who were listening were just actually blinking, and blank mind. Then a speaker came next to me. Then he talked about the glory of Guru Golwalkar and all that. Then only I realized that I should have spoken to these people about Guru Golwalkar rather than Vyasacharya. Because for them, he was the Guru rather. Right? And they didn't know any other Guru other than Guru Golwalkar. So these kind of things happen rather.
So one thing, Raghuji, for the RSS, the motherland is the Guru.
That
The
is
flag.
true.
No,
Flag is
Bhagavad
the
Gita.
Guru, correct. But their Guru who conveys that to them is that the first founder of RSS. So he talked about Guru and the glory of Guru Golwalkar and all that. I was surprised. Then only I realized that I was speaking from Vedanta point of view. He is speaking from RSS point of view. So. And it was an interesting experience for me, learning also. I should be very careful whom I am talking about Guru. You go to Chennai auto fellows and you talk about Vyasacharya, they won't understand. For them, every other auto driver is a Guru only. Where they call themselves Guru and all. So these are all interesting things. Somebody else was saying.
You said no. Yeah, no, you were saying about in today's age, the Acharyas do not move around much. They have all their own abodes. I think it's only Adi Shankara who moved. And it is because of him, his movement all over India, that he went up to Kashmir, Kedarnath, everything, that the Hinduism could spread across.
Absolutely. So that is why Adi Shankara is a great example for a sannyasa dharma. Great example for sannyasa dharma.
Whereas the other Shankaracharyas all had their permanent abodes.
Yeah, all permanent. Danda also many people have given up now. Only I see Kanchi Acharyas have.
Kanchi has got here.
Ekadanda, but other acharyas in Puri and all that, I've never seen them with any danda or anything. I don't know. I've not seen them much also, but I'm not sure whether that danda practice
I
is
think
there.
Sringeri has also got a danda, I think.
Maybe, probably.
Sringeri also.
Yeah. But then again, that danda it's a very significant thing, you know. I mean, there are certain rituals attached to the danda itself, which they have to follow, all the sannyasis have to follow. So what I'm saying at the end of the day is that many of these things which are prescribed are all fallen. So today we don't know what is right, what is wrong, what is the norm, what is abnormal. Everything seems normal, everything seems abnormal.
He said that the system is gradually diluting.
Yeah, diluting and dying, in fact. Not only diluting.
That is dangerous.
Not dangerous. It is the way it is happening. That's all. I mean, we are the ones who are making it happen, right? So all human beings. So system is there only. I mean, if we want to follow the system, it is very much there. But because of our convenience, because in Kali Yuga, you know, luxury and personal comfort, physical comfort becomes more important. And all these anushtanas, these acharas and all, they involve a lot of physical trouble rather. Even to get up early in the morning, you're all supposed to get up in the morning before sunrise.
Brahma Muhurtam.
Brahma Muhurtam, we are supposed to get up. Now, sleeping beyond 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock is such a nice experience, you know, probably the best of the dreams you will get at that time. How many people get up at 4:30 in the morning? You can just, so it's we who are actually trying, because getting up early in the morning is really a headache. And then you're supposed to, when the evening, you know, lamp is lit, have your food, then sleep off, right? You will not wait till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And but then these days, that's what people do. They keep awake till midnight. And then so obviously next morning, they will not be able to get up at Brahma Muhurta. So the whole cycle has been completely spoiled. And then they will eat things they are not supposed to eat at night time, rather, which are heavy to digest. And because the body takes more time to digest it will continue the sleep, you know, because the body will not become fresh to wake up. So one thing leads to another. So the complete lifestyle is gone. So that is why we are having all these problems.
But I don't think it will die. It gets diluted.
It may not. Yeah, that is true. I mean,
there are many being explained. Like a simple what you explained, Guruji, even about the Deepavali having an oil bath. I think if these kind of things are explained to the younger generation, our next generation, they are inquisitive to know why you are doing it. And if somebody is able to explain properly, I think our dharma will continue. It may not die.
Yeah, true. See, that is quite true. Die in the sense that, you know, it is fading away. That's what I'm saying. Because you just look at 2 or 3 generations before us. What our forefathers were practicing in terms of puja, in terms of their personal discipline and all. How many of us today are able to keep up with that? So what was there 3 generations ago has already got diluted in our generation. And it will get further diluted in future generations.
Yeah, I think it is because our 2-3 generations back, they didn't explain to us properly what is the kind of dharma, why are we doing all this? So today, I feel that there are many youngsters, Vaishnava Dharma, which I am associated with. I see in that Kanchi, my own nephew, who is an youngster, who goes to the thing and follows the Ramanujacharya's principle or Vedanta Desikan's principle. So I feel that there is a lot of interest, but probably, it will take a long time.
It will take a long, I mean, as you rightly say, it may not completely die. But the thing what will happen is the practitioners, as Puja Swamiji says, you know, the dharmi are vanishing, then dharma also will vanish. At the end of the day, if you have to sustain the dharma, only the practitioners, by practicing the dharma, they can sustain this dharma. right? But still, one aspect of that is that certain values which are there, they are not completely compromised. It's only the practices which are compromised. But I still see that many values of our Sanatana Dharma are still valued, and many people are following that, without any compromise. So that way, it is not that the whole thing will vanish, but certain these rituals, and that is mainly because we don't understand ourselves what these rituals are. And then if we try to give some false narrative to it, the youngsters are not going to buy it, just for because we are saying and all that. Maybe 2 generations ago, if the father said something or mother said something, that was gospel. But now that is no longer valid. They will question us. And because we ourselves are all ignorant about all these things, we are not able to give convincing answers to them. So that's why we should study, we should listen to Acharyas who explain these things, and then try to spread it as much as possible in terms of sharing this knowledge rather. So that is what the maximum we can do in order to preserve and protect and continue this Sanatana Dharma.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Let us be positive in our thinking and be optimistic.
We should be positive in our thinking. We should be optimistic. In fact, wherever possible, we should try to revive it to the extent possible rather.
Revive it.
Yeah. So if we find it someplace it is fading away, what is it that? It is just like watering a plant, right? You have a plant, because it has not been watered, it starts, drying up. So
Withering away, yes,
so you notice it, and then you start watering it and tending or caring for the plant. It will certainly sprout again, leaves will come, and it will happen. And I personally feel that a lot of that is actually happening now, even though it is not very much in the public domain. Lot of these things are happening. And there is a history also why we lost all that. It's not that we cannot just blame Kali Yuga alone for that. We have been, as I was reading somewhere, there were more than 7 lakh Gurukulams in India before the invasions and all took place. And now we hardly have, half a dozen Gurukulams or 1 dozen real Gurukulams in there.
Only a handful of Veda Pathshalas only.
A handful of Veda Pathshalas only. Now, see, there is a great responsibility on us also. The Veda Pathshalas, people who are running it, they have no income or anything, and how long they can sustain. So people, so we have to come together as a society and support all those people. Then these things can continue. That is the watering of that plant. We have to do that. Puja Swamiji and all have done a lot of things for Veda Pathshalas and all that. Like that, we have to take. If we don't just adopt one Pathshala, I'm sure that we are all economically very well placed in order to at least sustain one Pathshala for throughout the year. Or we have got lot of brains. In fact, I remember this long ago, Kanchi Acharya, they had started this SSS, I think, for girls, one hostel in Kanchipura. So where the girls will be trained in all domestic chores, and they will be sent to the school also. They will stay there and there'll be a matron and all that. And they were looking for funds for sustaining that on a regular basis. So that was the time I got very close to Kanchi Acharya. So, and I was also working in a bank. So I came up with a scheme that people don't contribute because they feel that their income which they are earning, why should I part with that? Right. So I thought of a scheme where I requested a lot of people. I said, if we get 25,000 rupees fixed deposit in your own name, you take fixed deposit, make a 25,000 rupees fixed deposit in a bank for 5 years. Only give an instruction to the bank that whatever interest is coming out of that, you donate it to this trust, right? So like that, if we are, I found out that actually on a daily basis, their expenditure was to the extent of something like 2,000 rupees or something. So 25,000 rupees will give at 8% 2,000 rupees income annually, right? So what I did, if I said this was my scheme, 365 people, if we get to donate 25 or create a deposit of 25,000, then entire 365 days we have got 2,000 rupees per day,
Per day.
with which it can run. And after 5 years, they have a choice either to renew the fixed deposit, continue with that, or
Continue.
take away their money and we will replace it with new donors.
Newton.
That way, the money which I have created, the fixed deposit, is my money. I am not parting with that money. What is being sustained is the interest which is being received from the fixed deposit, which is going to the as a donation. And in that also, ATG you can claim, the benefit you can claim. But that ran for about 5 years. After that, of course, I left India, and then I don't know. After that, I think probably there was not enough, people to carry that forward. But we have to. The point I want to say is, we can find innovative ways of doing all these things, where you can create some kind of a corpus by which these patashalas can actually be helped rather. So the traditional way of going with a receipt book and asking people to donate for a patashala will no longer work. That worked at one point in time. It's no longer go. Nobody is going to part with any money if you go with a receipt book with that. So we have to find out new ways of actually doing the same thing.
Guruji, do you think that it is worth that we, from this class, at least you gave an idea that we think whether we can do something?
Well, I mean, I would actually not put it as any group activity or anything. It is for every individual to look at his own situation and see what best he can do under the circumstances. Because I would not like to create a sort of a pressure on people that X is doing, Y is doing, so I am also forced to do. And then if we are not able to do, feel guilty about it. That is not something which I will be looking forward to. So this is an idea which we have floated now in this class. So let us see on the personal basis. Now, as I told you, I have already registered a trust, Aavignidhi Trust. Now, whatever contribution I am going to get into the trust, I am going to sustain these things with that trust money only. So at some stage, when the trust becomes fully operational with the bank account and all being opened, everything, whatever Guru Dakshina or anything that anybody wants to give, I will say you direct it toward the trust, and which will indirectly go to all these, sustaining these activities, including why only patashalas, poor feeding. There is, I don't know, many of you may know, there is one KIT, Kerala IELTS Trust.
Yes.
I don't know, many of you, yeah. So I keep regularly contributing to them, and they are doing an excellent, service in terms of identifying poor Brahmins or poor people. And of course, their area of operation is restricted to only Kerala right now, because that's a KIT. They all belong to Kerala. But they, help people, small amounts, paying school fees, medical expenses, and all that. And we contribute, people who are donors, they contribute annually some amount to them, and they use that for that purpose. So if we actually look around, there are a lot of opportunities. If we want to do anything, we can certainly do that. Yes, Premaji, you wanted to say something?
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Namaskaram.
I think we started with the concept of homage to Vyasa. And why? Because he has, on a consistent basis, we have referred to him as a source of knowledge and for proceeding with the Sanatana Dharma. So I think we veer when we say, if we call something Sanatana, we cannot say it is dying or is dead, but it's the same situation we have come to before the Bhagavad Gita came, the dharmic cow had only 3 legs and Mother Earth was appealing. Now, when you come to the concept of respect, of convention, of thinking patterns, yes, we are in a decadent society and we are imitating things that do not follow the injunctions of our scriptures. And we don't understand it either. But fortunately, there are gurus, there are people like you who volunteer their time. So the people who are in ignorance, which is the main cause of everything here for us to go to moksha. So they are at least shedding some light on how things should move. And what I find is there are many, many, many ways of dealing with all the shortcomings of what we are facing. But that's not the issue. What I would like to say is, one thing that confused me was when you said you do the Guru Puja, and you said there is a certain paddhati according to which it is done. Probably an average person does not know that paddhati or the rules, but they do it with sincerity. But then you said, then you must do Chaturmasya observations. Now, a person might not be even knowing about Chaturmasya observations, but the fact that he is paying his respects to Vyasa on Guru Purnima day, Purnamada Purnamidam, everything is Purnam, and you assume that you're not. So when we focus, like Mr. Narayanan said, we're focusing on the shortcomings of all the things that are not happening properly. But if you did things with that kind of an intention and hold on to the hand of the Guru who is teaching it, I think there is a lot of hope, and not only generations can change, but our own thinking. Like, for example, if a 2-ton truck daughter went and sat on her father's lap, poor man, we say, oh no, don't do that at the time of the wedding. But the idea that he's not giving her away like a cow or some possession, but with respect, but with affection. If that is explained to the children, they will not balk at it. And they can put a chair for the fat little girl who is getting married. It doesn't matter. But these are things that develop according to the vicissitudes of time and also our mental preoccupation with the details. So on this, whether we worship Shirdi Baba or we are worshiping Rama, Sita, Krishna, whoever, the idea is what is inside is being expressed at that time. And even if it is a drop of water and a flower, it is a beginning. It is a starting point, if I may say so.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Very nice.
Okay, thank you.
Very, very nice. Thank you very much.
We will continue with
Thank you,
Bhagavad Gita in the next class. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.